Can he do it again? Mike Bibby. Bibby stops, pops, there it is! Bibby, the hero, again! A back-to-back nights! Oh, boy!
Back close, stolen by Bibby. Ahead to Martin, to the rim. And the Sacramento Kings have won.
Cousins, pull out of stage, look out, blow! Oh, if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball.
What's going on, everybody? Sorry for the technical difficulties here. Marley Silverbrand, the video editor, is helping us out. Again, we're having Mixler problems, not dashboard RN problems, so I don't know what's going on. But again, welcome to the Kings Court, presented by SacKingsNation.com, and of course sponsored by BrickHouseIndustries.com. Oh man, Marley, we have had quite an off season, and it's finally looking like we're going to start prepping, fans for training camp. And that looks like what's coming down to, as the Sacramento Kings have now signed Quincy Acy, Duge Dukin, Caron Butler, Rajon Rondo.
I hate to correct you, but it's actually Duhade Dukin.
Oh, whatever. All right.
Yeah.
We're not going to have another Greg Wissinger episode here, are we?
Probably.
And of course, what's headlined it this past week is Seth Curry. It's been a week. It's been an off season. It's been fun. But before we get into anything, guys, I just want to let everyone know what's going to be happening with this show going into the new year. So I'm working on a couple of things now. I know I said that this was the week we were going to do the Versus episode. It's not going to be this week. This week isn't going to be the Versus episode, but the Versus episodes are going to start coming back up. I think that's going to be a side segment that we're going to do, and then it'll just be a pre-recorded show that pops up. Then you guys can all vote. Another thing we're going to start doing is the show's going to probably go on for 2 hours, so it'll be from like 6 to 8, and that final hour will be like a fantasy. It'll be like the fantasy hour. I'm talking to a couple of people to where we can see if we can get it to work. Nothing is guaranteed on that quite yet, so don't hold me to it, but I want to let you guys know what we were working on our end here. We got a new writer for SacKingsNation.com, Joe Morgan. He's been posting up a ton of stuff. You guys have seen his stuff.
He's actually in the chat right now.
Oh, he's in the chat board right now. So you guys have seen his stuff. He's very opinionated, very sarcastic, and a very cool guy. We're great, I'm glad to have him on the staff. We stay in constant communication, and that just shows that's how much we're trying to progress. So he was on the chat board so much. We liked what he was saying. He heard that we were looking for writers, and he emailed in right away. And what he wrote was good stuff, and what he does is good stuff. And we're looking for around 2 to 3 more. So if you guys are interested in becoming a writer for SacKingsNation.com, go ahead and shoot me over a 500-word article to kingscourtpodcast@gmail.com. Now, this episode... By
the way, go check out that article that he wrote about the Kings creating a community. That's a great read, by the way.
It was awesome.
SacKingsNation.com.
It was an awesome read, and it's been getting blown up all over the place. Like I said, he's very opinionated, and I'm very pumped to have him on the staff. He's enthusiastic, he's cool, and, I just can't wait to see where we're building a pretty good team over here. So I'm excited to see where this is going. Marley's about to be in Sacramento, so the videos for the show will be returning, which will be even cooler. There's just a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and this off season has been crazy, like I said in the beginning. This episode is basically going to be recapping it all, because we're going to be talking about the finalization of this roster. Projections are not yet. We are not doing projections yet. I'm not going to give if I think they're making the playoffs, really. I mean, I've said it, but that's not my final projection status. That's all I'm saying, is I'm not doing that quite yet. I'm not ready to do it yet. I want to see training camp. I want to see a preseason game. Now, with all that being said, Marley, welcome back to the show, man. We haven't had you on in quite a long time. You do your work. We stay in constant communication. How have you been?
I've been great. I've just been looking for rooms to rent in Sacramento, so been busy with that and working and just enjoying this off season. And let me just say, I'm just going to make a prediction for the end of the season. I know you
already?
said that,
already?
Yeah.
It's too early, sir. It's too early.
Shots fired. I'm going to predict that the Kings are going to sneak in an 8 seed.
I can't do that yet. Why? I can't do it.
Crap. Phone's blowing up. This is the joys of a live show. Okay. Hold on. But yeah, what are you saying?
Marley still ran back to the show, and he doesn't even put his phone on silent. Awesome stuff, my friend. Well,
Yep.
Let's talk about it. The roster is now set. The Kings now have Rajon Rondo as their starting point guard, although that is quite up for debate amongst most people. Could it be Darren Collison? Because they also have Darren Collison at the point guard spot. They now have Seth Curry at the point guard spot. At the shooting guard position, you have Ben McLemore, you have Marco Bellinelli, and you have James Anderson. At the 3 spot, you have Rudy Gay, Omri Caspi,
4 spot Rudy Gay.
We'll get there.
It's been confirmed that he's playing at the 4.
By who?
By me.
Oh, well, then that's such credibility right there. Such credibility right there.
Yeah.
At the 3 spot, hold on.
Hey.
Let's finish down the roster.
Okay.
So we have Gay, we have Caron Butler, and we have Omri Caspi at the 3. At the 4 spot, we have Costa Koufos. We have Quincy, although Costa could be a 5, but we'll take that into consideration. Costa Koufos, Quincy Acey, and Duge Dukin. And, of course, at the 5 spot, Douye Dukin. Okay, I get it.
It's not Douye, it's Duhay Dukin.
Anyways.
Like Duhay?
Anyways. We have that. And, of course, Willie Trill, Cauley Stein, and DeMarcus Cousins holding down the 5 spot. And I've said it countless times, this is the best roster this Kings team has had since Ron Artest and Bonzi Wells was on this team. Like, this is the best roster they've had.
You calling Ron Artest a baller? Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is this is the best team that the Kings have had since he was here in Sacramento. I'm excited for this season. I really am. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Going into training camp and going into the preseason games, what I'm really excited to see is what's going to happen with these guaranteed contracts for this 14-man roster, and they still have 1 spot left open. So before we get into that, Marley, I want to hear your thoughts on these most recent signings of Quincy Acey, Seth Curry, and all this stuff this past week. So, of course, Seth Curry is the name that keeps, drawing in a ton of attention. What were your thoughts when the Kings signed Seth Curry? Were you excited? And I know the answer to this.
I think that the 2 biggest signings that came out of this offseason were probably 2 of my favorite players. One player is Marco Bellinelli, which I thought when I heard that news, I almost thought it was a joke that the Spurs just let Bellinelli go because, like during the play, I know they didn't get very far in the playoffs, but Bellinelli, he freaking he kept them in there with the Spurs. I thought, and then Seth Curry. Seth Curry is by far I know he's struggled and he's been in the D League and he's been struggling to get away from Steph Curry, like his brother's shadow. But I think this year is going to be the year of Seth Curry, just because he's about an hour away from his brother, and whenever the Kings and Warriors are going to go up, you know that there's going to be fire in the building. There's already fire in the building when those 2 teams go up against each other. But with Seth Curry and Steph Curry on opposite teams, you know that the rivalry is going to be Seth Curry's going to want to light up his brother, and Steph's going to want to light up his brother every now and then. I think it's just we're in for something special when those 2 teams play. That's what I think.
I will argue with you that Seth Curry should not be one of your top 2 signings. You should be looking at maybe Costa Koufos as your top signing for this.
Well, that just shows how great our offseason was. That you can just keep naming players. That I like Costa Koufos, but he's been in the league a while and he's already proven himself. But I like the signing of Seth Curry because this is his year that he can prove that he's not Steph, and this is the I just lost my train of thought.
But
yeah.
This is the year where Seth Curry can try and get away from his brother's shadow just a little bit. But all I'm trying to say right now is it's Kosta Koufos, Marco Bellinelli as your top 2 signings. Straightforward. That's it. I look at, but I want to talk about Seth Curry because I mean this is the headline of the week. Okay, so with Seth Curry, then this is the headline that's getting me is he chose Sacramento over New Orleans, of course, because guaranteed money, but because he was told he's going to be getting more playing time. How much playing time do we expect him to get? Because I don't expect him to get a lot, and
I don't expect him to get a lot in the beginning of the season. Obviously, it's going to be like it's going to be Rajon Rondo and then Darren Collison sharing the minutes, and like if Darren Collison starts struggling, I wouldn't be surprised if Seth Curry starts. Did I say Steph Curry or Seth Curry?
I think you said Steph, but everyone's gonna do that mistake.
Yeah, but Seth Curry is totally gonna I see him getting like maybe like 10 minutes a game, like for starting out. And just kind of easing him into into everything. And then if he starts outperforming Darren Collison, which I don't really see happening, I wouldn't be surprised if the Kings start shopping Darren Collison.
Stop it. Stop it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Stop
I really
it.
wouldn't be surprised.
You are talking too optimistic. Okay, it's Seth Curry, not Steph Curry. He's a D-League player for a reason. He's a D-League player for a reason. Why wasn't he in the NBA last year? Don't worry, I'll wait. Because he's a D-League player.
He wasn't in the NBA last season because he was struggling to get away from
his brother's shadow. Stop it! Oh, stop it! Oh, stop it!
The kid. Have you seen him play at Duke?
I see.
I am surprised that he went undrafted.
Wash your mouth out with national media juice. That's from Joe Morgan in the chat board right there. All right, I get it. He's an exciting name. The last name brings excitement. I get it. But it's Seth Curry. He's in the D-League for a reason. He was the D-League MVP last year. Did you know that? He was D-League MVP last year. Yet, the MVP could not get put on an NBA roster at all through the season? Stop it. I expect him to get maybe 5 minutes. And the only reason why it's good to have him on the team, I like Seth Curry. And you know what? It's good to have him because both Darren Collison and Rajon Rondo, you know what those two guys are? They are injury prone. So at some point during the season, like last year, out of nowhere, Darren Collison got a hip flexor, which on a play didn't even look like it involved his hip. And he was out for like 30-plus games. You need a guy like Seth Curry. I like the potential. Again, D-League MVP. You know, Summer League points leader. Awesome to have on the show. Awesome to have on this team. But he's D-League. 10 minutes, then they'll trade Darren Collison. Wash your mouth out with national media juice. Bang, bang, shots fired. It's happening right now. Stop it. Stop it. It's a last name.
I don't think you're giving the D-League that much credit. So, but I'm just saying, I don't really care if I'm drinking the national media juice, but like if that's like forming my opinion or something like that. But I believe in Seth Curry.
I didn't say I didn't believe in him. What I said was you need to take a chill pill and thinking he's gonna play so well that they can potentially look at trading Darren Collison. He's not getting more than 5 minutes a game, if that at all. They're going to play small this year, and this can lead us now to Quincy Acey and Douye Dukin and Rudy Gay playing that 4 spot. And I see on the chat board, Joe Morgan wrote, Omri Caspi not one of your top 2? No, he's not. He's not. He's a return player.
Omri was already on the team.
Exactly.
So.
He re-signed.
Yeah. I had a feeling that Omri was going to re-sign anyways, so.
But it was stretch 4. That's what we're looking at.
Yeah.
And you're looking at Rudy Gay, again, Douye Dukin. Quincy Acey, for some reason, takes 3-pointers. And maybe they use him in that aspect.
I would like to talk about Quincy Acey a little bit, because I've been seeing a lot of hate on Quincy Acey, like, from the signing. And why are Kings fans, like hating on this signing, like saying that he like all he does is like flashy dunks and doesn't play any defense, and I'm like, Quincy Acey is like the kind of guy that you want on this roster, like coming off the bench. He's the guy that brings extra energy into the game and keeps the energy from the starting five going. Like Quincy Acey is like an awesome, like I wouldn't call him a stretch four, but like he's an awesome like player coming off the bench for the Kings, and I'm glad that we got him back.
I don't know who you're talking. In every circle that I've seen, everyone is super excited to have the Beard back in Sacramento.
I don't know. In some of the Facebook groups, I've been seeing like some people hating on it. So
I mean, I understand why people shouldn't be like extremely excited. He's not going to do anything crazy. You know, you're not going to see like a crazy 15 rebounds. He's not Reggie Evans. He's I think a better upsided Reggie Evans. You know, and he likes it here in Sacramento. That's a plus. And he knows his role.
He can move faster than Reggie Evans.
He can dunk higher than Reggie Evans. We all know that he can jump over a piece of string. Reggie Evans can't. All right.
I think Reggie Evans and DeMarcus Cousins get along better, to be honest.
Well, I mean, DeMarcus Cousins posted on his Twitter account, "The franchise is back," when he posted about Quincy Acey. So
yeah.
I mean, they get along just fine. I'm not worried about chemistry right now between this team. As of right now, maybe the Rondo thing picks back up, but as of right now and what's going on, you can't really say there's a chemistry problem unless you're talking about DeMarcus Cousins and George Karl, because that's still an issue that we can possibly hit on later on in the show. But
I don't think it's as big as an issue as what the national media is like making it. So, it's just two guys that like George Karl coached 30 games with DeMarcus Cousins in the roster. 30 games. Do you think that's like the right amount of games for like to get to know a guy? Like, and plus they haven't even talked like in the off season, which I think is almost insane. Like Vlade should be like taking him out to dinner and stuff like that, and just like getting him on the same page. Which I feel like Vlade's kind of been doing that by taking reins of this the reins of this franchise. But I don't know.
Stretch 4. Let's stick to it.
Yeah.
I have Rudy Gay starting at the 4 spot. You have Rudy Gay starting at the 4 spot. Many don't agree with us. That's completely fine. But it's going to be the way this team plays. And I'm so confident that Rudy Gay is the starting 4-man going into this season that I'm willing to make a wager with anybody who is against me. That's how confident. I don't know what it would be. And I do not want it to be anything like what's going on with Twitter between Carmichael Dave and this Mike Insurance guy. If you haven't seen that, that's something to read because it's hilarious to read up and down. But that's a different story for a different podcast and not this show.
I think if having Rudy Gay at the 4 is like the perfect way to play against our division and pretty much the rest of the NBA. The only team you're probably going to have to worry about is the Spurs, just because like I know LaMarcus Aldridge is like everyone, he's making the news lately because he's going to be, it's the Twin Towers back in San Antonio, Tim Duncan and LaMarcus Aldridge, even though LaMarcus Aldridge was injury prone and Tim Duncan is like approaching 45. But like that's next to Willie Cauley-Stein and DeMarcus Cousins, like the Spurs have like probably the best like front court in the NBA, I think. So
you are completely spacing out on the fact that we should be worried if Rudy Gay is playing the 4 spot against Memphis. That's Zebo and Marcus Gasol. That's leaving bruises on your chest later on the next day.
Rudy Gay has guarded like
Anthony Davis. I don't know.
I don't know. I think the San Antonio Spurs are probably the team to worry about. Like, if we're going up against Golden State, I think we're perfectly fine because we can get up and run now. From the way the team looks from the off season, we can get up and run with Golden State like no problem now. Because what's the tallest guy that the Warriors have on the roster? I think 6'11", and it's Andrew Bogut. Like, like that's kind of a joke. So now that we have like two big men that can get up and run like DeMarcus Cousins and Willie Cauley-Stein, and the possibility of Rudy Gay moving over to the 4, like I think we're going to be able to compete with running teams. So, which is what the NBA is going to.
Well, it's George Karl's system. We're expecting them to run. I'm not. What I'm worried about is the bruising. I mean, I get the worry about Rudy Gay. I have Rudy Gay starting at the 4 spot. Now, is that their go-to lineup? No. I think they have so much depth on this roster to where they can mix it up a little bit. I think George Karl can have a lot of fun with this roster. I think another reason why they brought on Seth Curry is because they're going to be playing a lot of Darren Collison and Rondo at the same time. So to have a third point guard to come on in there and play could be beneficial for them, just so one of them can get a break till one of them can come back in. But Rudy Gay at the 4, or even Douye Dukin at the 4, those are the two guys that you're looking at, that, or even Omri Caspi. Those are the guys you're looking at, like, they can shoot, and everyone has been saying it, and I'll continue to say it. Before we signed, or before we drafted Willie Cauley-Stein, everyone last season was like, we need a Ryan Anderson. We need someone who can stretch the floor so DeMarcus Cousins can have more room to operate down low. We now have it. We have Rudy Gay. Rudy Gay is in that form. He can guard Draymond Green. He can guard Anthony Davis. Watch tape. Watch tape against him playing against New Orleans. He can guard Anthony Davis. Now, can he shut him down? Hell no. Okay, he can't shut him down. But can he guard him is the question. That answer is yes. He can guard him. Now, can he guard Zach Randolph? No. But that night that he plays him, you know who you should play at the power forward spot? I don't know. Maybe you bring in Koufos. Maybe you bring in Willie Cauley-Stein. Now,
I don't think Willie Cauley-Stein is starting like up until February.
I don't think he starts at all.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a problem as well, because I think Willie Cauley-Stein, and I believe this truly, Willie Cauley-Stein showed a lot of potential during Summer League. And I think it's going to affect the growth of him through season 1, or through his rookie year, that he doesn't get enough minutes because they're going to be playing small ball so much. Now, can he slide in and be the 5 spot, give Cousin relief? Yeah, but then there's just a logjam at that center position, because then you're going to play Koufos. Then I don't think AC is really a big play-in for minutes. He's going to be one of those guys that's going to be your like Kendrick Perkins type players that go in there, bang around a little bit, get these guys tired, shut them down, show them some muscle. But that's about it. It's not going to be it's just a logjam how you're going to use these players, and I really truly believe they're going to go small. I'm also worried about what's going to happen with Ben McLemore, because Marco Bellinelli is definitely getting minutes, and if they're talking, and I've heard that they are talking about this, of bringing Darren Collison in to play that 2 spot next to Rondo, I mean, how many minutes there are now for Marco Bellinelli and Ben McLemore? I mean,
Well, Marco Bellinelli came off the bench with the Spurs, and the Spurs have a really deep bench, like, along with the Kings this season, and I actually see, like if you've been, like, looking at Ben McLemore's Twitter page, the dude's been working, like, all summer. I'm going to quote James Ham, like, this kid knows how to work. And, like, I feel like if you put in that work, like, that earns you a starting spot. Like, and also that, like, if he starts slacking throughout the season, I can see, like, George Karl coming to him and saying, hey, I'm putting Marco Bellinelli in your spot. And then that's going to make Ben McLemore want to work even more to want to get that starting spot back. So I think having depth at this two spot is good for Ben McLemore, because it's going to want him to work progressively throughout the season, like, and not just kind of like slack off and stuff like that, because the kid's still young. Like, I don't know.
Okay, so let's say he struggles right off the bat, though. Then you're looking at it as, well, if they're gonna do the Rondo Darren Collison thing, that takes away minutes from Ben McLemore. Then he struggles. Well, then they have to bring in Marco Bellinelli. That's less minutes for him there again. Well, I mean, you have to find ways, and that's what the biggest worry is because they have so much depth. How are they going to move these minutes around? Because, I mean, Koufos came in here expecting minutes, but Willie Cauley-Stein needs minutes. Rudy Gay is going to see his minutes, but is it going to be at the 3 or the 4 spot. Then that also, again, affects Willie Cauley-Stein because then where is he going to get his in? Number 2 spot, again, we just brought it up. Rondo Collison. Where does Ben McLemore fit? Where does Marco Bellinelli fit? If Marco Bellinelli wanted to just stay off the bench, he would have just stayed in San Antonio. He's finding minutes. They brought these players into play.
I think coming opening night, that Ben McLemore is starting, and he will start up until January. I believe if he's like dominating, then he is starting basically for the entire season, and Marco Bellinelli is coming off the bench. And I don't think Marco Bellinelli is going to have a problem with that, to be honest.
I'm not seeing him as a starter. I'm seeing how much minutes is he going to get. Bench does not matter. I don't care about the bench. I have Ben McLemore starting. My thing is if you do the lineup of Darren Collison and Rondo off the bench, it doesn't matter. That's the minutes that you're rolling out on the floor. Then it has to be where it's going to be Ben McLemore getting his minutes cut because Bellinelli is also coming off the bench. He's not going to be a 3. I'm telling you that right now. Marco Bellinelli is not a 3. He's not a point guard. He's a shooting guard. So then where does Ben McLemore find his minutes? Because he's not a 3 either. They're not going to want to shift him there. They want him to learn his position because he's so young. So there's little log jams in certain places, and I'm really excited to see how it works. And that's why I'm not ready to give a real projection yet, because I want to see how this team is going to play.
Well, I think to be honest, I think it's probably safe to say 8th seed. Just like when I said 8th seed, that's pretty much a safe bet.
How?
Just because if you look at the Western Conference, like a lot of teams are falling off. Like I feel like Dallas kind of falled off too, with like some of their pickups. Like I know you're gonna like hate on me, but like the Wesley Matthews, I feel like that's gonna be a huge bust for Dallas.
Positionless
and I'm really
basketball.
What was that?
Nothing. I just read positionless basketball. Stop it.
I think Wesley Matthews is going to be like he's going to have the same problems that Rajon Rondo had in Dallas. Like I feel like that regime of Rick Carlisle in Dallas is completely like damaging that franchise, because Rick Carlisle wants to be like it's his system, and if any player comes in and like tries to change that, then he basically gets in their face.
Rick Carlisle is a coaching genius, and his team is going to be just fine. They picked up Samuel Dellenberg. We still forget that they now have Chandler Parsons. They have Wesley Matthews. I mean, they have a squad. I mean, do they have the team that they were hoping for?
You said Chandler Parsons.
Parsons is a nice player. Do not hate on Chandler Parsons.
Okay.
He is a nice player.
I'm not hating on him. I'm just silence.
I would love Chandler Parsons on the Sacramento
fired.
Kings. Chandler Parsons is an awesome player. I'll tell you that right now. He is a really good basketball player. So they have a team in Dallas. Looking at this, how deep this Western Conference is, you say 8th seed is a safe lock. I highly disagree with you. Utah made a strong push at the end of the season last year and was battling for, hoping and praying to get in that 8th spot, to sneak in there. Portland, yeah, okay, they don't have their LaMarcus Aldridge. They don't have Nicholas Batum. They don't have Wesley Matthews. They got younger, though. They got Noah Vonleh. They still got Damian Lillard. They have pieces. They're not done. They're not out of it. Phoenix Suns are still a nice team. There's so many up-and-coming teams still there, and dare I say it, the Los Angeles Lakers have Kobe Bryant, Roy Hibbert, Lou Williams. That's still a team that's threatening. They have D'Angelo Russell. They have a team. Now, do I think they're better than the Kings at this point? Do I think they're a better team at this point? No.
Lakers are 2 years out.
Oh, my goodness.
Kobe Bryant can't, but Kobe Bryant has shown that he can't bring that team to the playoffs by himself, lately. So, I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not hating on the Lakers. I'm just saying that the Lakers aren't going to be in the playoffs.
I didn't say they were going to be. All I'm saying is, you said it's a lock for the Kings to be an 8th seed. I think, to use a Stephen A.
I didn't
Smith
say it
word,
was a lock. I just said it's a safe bet.
okay, that
Like
is
anything higher than that.
But it's not even so you feel like if you had $100,000, it would be a safe bet to put it on the Sacramento Kings making the 8th
If I
seed
had
in the playoffs.
$100,000, it's like right now, that means that I would have more money coming in later. So I would.
If you had $100,000, would you put it on the Kings making the 8th spot, or would you put it on the Kings not making the playoffs?
I would put it on. I'm being optimistic right now, but I'm going to put it on the Kings making.
You are being a straight Kings fan right now. That's all it is, and I'm a Kings fan.
Joe Morgan just says lock at 7 bet.
I bet anything that's not no 7th seed. I can't do that right now.
I think 7 is like that's.
If any of you guys want to call in right now, the phone number is 916-273-9777. Let me know what you guys think. If you are on my side thinking that this is crazy to automatically not have seen this team play, we have not seen this team play one game. This is a brand new roster. Rajon Rondo is coming off of a Dallas stint where the last time we saw him, he was playing.
Rondo has something to prove.
Oh my goodness gracious, oh my goodness. I'm sweating over here. You're making me so angry. This is a heated debate this is a versus episode right now. There is no way you can call it a safe bet and say the Kings make the 8th seed just by looking at the roster. Do they have 8th seed potential? Yes, because the roster is nice. But you know what else is nice? This entire Western Conference is nice. This Western Conference is a nasty Western Conference. I am a hardcore Kings fan. I love the Sacramento Kings. I'm literally looking at a Kings blanket right in front of my face right now, okay? I have Kings memorabilia in my room. I have a Kings jersey. I have a Jimmer for Debt jersey, all right? And whenever I wear it, I shoot 10 times better.
Oh, shots fired.
Okay? I'm a hardcore Kings fan. And all I'm telling you is, it is not a safe bet to say the Kings will make the playoffs if you have not seen them play one game, and there's still the big looming factor that George Karl and DeMarcus Cousins don't work. There's that big looming factor that if the Kings start struggling, what happens between Rondo and all these other, let's call it high, there's highly sensitive players, okay? We have to leave it at that.
I think you're putting too much stock into this DeMarcus Cousins and George Karl.
You have to. If literally the VP of your franchise is coming on radio shows and saying, "How is that situation right now?" Well, let me tell you, it's not pretty. Well,
like I said, 30 games. That's hardly any games to get to know a guy. So of course the relationship isn't going to be all that great. Plus, like, DeMarcus Cousins had to go through the disaster of the 2014-2015 season of losing his all-time favorite coach, even better than John Calipari at Kentucky. Like, he loved Michael Malone, and freaking Vivek Ranadive and D'Alessandro got rid of that, and now Michael Malone's in Denver, which I think is I feel sorry for Michael Malone over there, but I'm just saying, shots fired over at Denver.
I don't feel sorry for him at all. I feel like he's in a great situation now. Does he expect to make the playoffs? No, but did we expect to make the playoffs with the roster that we had when he first came in taken over? No, he did not. And look what he did. He had this team at one point, everyone saying, is this a playoff team? They now got rid of Ty Lawson. They're putting the keys to the franchise in Emmanuel Mudiay's hands. Now, whether that's a good thing or not, we really don't know. We just saw Summer League, and in Summer League, we cannot deny it. He was very, very impressive. So, they still have nice pieces in Wilson Chandler. They still have nice pieces in Danilo Gallinari. That Nusif guy, the center, he's decent. And they still have Kenneth Faried. They still have a decent team. That's what I'm saying. This Western Conference is still a deep deep conference. So to say it's a safe lock and to say you're reading too much into certain things, it needs to be read into because it's still something that's looming over the helm of the name, the Sacramento Kings. It's something we still have to overcome. We have to surpass it. And I'm a Kings fan. I swear, I am a Kings fan. I will literally.
I'm not doubting that you're not a Kings fan.
But well, I mean, if people say, oh well, if you don't think they're the playoffs, you're not a true Kings fan. You know what? If you can't admit the fact that the Kings sucked last season, you're not a true Kings fan. That's that's my reply to all of that.
They completely sucked.
All right.
They completely sucked. I know, like I say that I'm a true Kings fan, but like they sucked so much last year that I just didn't even want to turn on the games. Like I just watched recaps and just read what happened in the game just because it was really ugly last season. Like I don't know, I couldn't. It was too hard to watch. Like the last season was probably the worst losing season that I ever had. That I ever had to consume, which I couldn't watch. I really couldn't watch it. So
I want to remind everyone that the Kings Court is sponsored by BrickHouseIndustries.com. Go to BrickHouseIndustries.com. Use the promo code Kings Court. Get a discount on us. Also, guys, we are still selling our Sack Kings Nation t-shirt. There are only a limited amount left, so if you have not got yours yet, go to SackKingsNation.com. Click on the thing that says Order My Sack Kings Nation t-shirt. Click the email right there. Send in the size you want. Of course, the address that you want it to be sent to, and you should be getting it into 7 to 10 business days.
Shout-outs to Joe Morgan in the chat. He says that you need to be baptized in the Sacramento River. It says that you're wrong. And then says even Jimmer Fredette doesn't have a Jimmer jersey. Shots fired.
Tell him to call in. Tell him to call in and say that to my voice. Call in and say it to my voice. All right? That's what I say. All right?
Call into the show at 916-273-9777. Call it. Yeah.
Okay, so.
But yeah, that was a huge discussion, but that was fun.
That was fun. It's been a while since you've been on, my friend. It's been a while, and that's why I like having you on. You get me into heated debates because you say some crazy things that I just could not believe. I can't believe that yet. I can't, as much as I want to, as much as I want to say playoffs, I can't believe in it yet.
I'm just saying that I'm overly optimistic. I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's just saying it's both. Just because, I don't know, my overly stated optimism on Seth Curry, I think that's probably a bad thing. But
yes, you said the two. You said, and I quote, the two biggest signings this offseason was Marco Bellinelli and Seth Curry.
I don't know. I feel like the only thing I really liked him at Duke.
Hold on one second. He's joining the call right now. Are you kidding me?
Dude, how do you not feel us and know that we're getting a 7th seed? I don't know what is wrong here. You got to have faith to be a fan. I know you say you're a fan and you got a Jimmer jersey that you should have thrown away. Maybe, I don't know, use it to clean your car. I mean, there's a million things you could do with it other than use it as clothing. But, we're taking the 7th seed. There's no question. Anybody who doesn't see that just does not understand what's going on in this organization is making itself new again. It's making itself healthy again. Dude, it's feeling all sorts of awesome.
All right, Joe. Let me ask you this quick question while you're here, while you're on this show as our caller today. Okay, while you're taking shots fired in the chat board. Yeah, I read it. I'm not going to go get baptized in the Sacramento pond, all right? It's not going to happen. All right? What makes you feel it's a guarantee that the Sacramento Kings make the 7th seed? Who dropped off so bad in this Western Conference that, you know what, the Kings are a lock for the 7th seed? I mean, it's bad enough that Marley said 8th seed, and now you're going one more position higher? Stop it.
I'll tell you the exact reason. What you guys are doing is absolutely backwards. You're looking at who is going to beat us. You're looking at who is going to be good and who's going to have more wins than us. Just win, baby. Just win. Don't worry about other teams. Don't worry about what seed you get. Just worry about what Vivek is doing, allowing Vlade to be the man, to be the Vlogfather, and come in and just wreck people. And he's going to win. That's it. That's all it takes. Just win. And as long as you win, you're in the 7. I mean, how hard is it? How hard is it to win? They've done it before. They could do it again.
Okay, but then let me ask you this.
I'll make you a deal. I'll make you a bet right now. They don't make the 7th seed, I'll get baptized in the Sac River. They make the 7th seed, you're going underwater there.
You know what? I will take that bet, sir. I take that bet. And you know what? On top of that, when you lose and the Kings do not make a 7th seed, so it doesn't even matter. I can still win this bet even if they do make the playoffs to make 8. You said 7. I will take your bet.
Oh, no, they're taking 7. There's no question in my mind.
Okay.
I have confidence. I have faith.
I have faith too, and I have faith in the fact that once the Kings do not make the 7th seed, you will get baptized in the Sacramento Pond wearing my Jimmer Fredette jersey. And when you come up, and when you come up, you can wash my car with the jersey after you're done. All right, boom.
The only thing I can come back with from that is to tell you I'll get you a WNBA jersey to wear when you go underwater.
Just make it a Monarchs. Just make it a Monarchs.
Oh man, I'll make you wear the whole damn Slamson outfit.
Hey, Joe, while we do have you on, man, let's get your thoughts on this whole entire offseason. I know it's been inspiring you to think that they're going to be the 7th seed, but I'm just talking about this past week. The Kings signed Seth Curry. What were your thoughts when the Kings brought him in, the D-League MVP? Do you think he's going to be having a significant role on this roster, or is this more of an end-of-the-bench type of guy that we want to see what can happen?
Well, I love him as our 12-man. I love him as our 13. I don't care either way. I mean, I think if Carl does decide to play 2 point guards at the same time, he's going to be a vital role coming in to hold it up when they're both tired. But either way, even if he just plays one at a time, still going to have some injuries, still going to have some things go down. You got to have a guy like that on there. You know how I felt? I wanted Isaiah Canaan to come in, but Seth Curry, I just wasn't even looking at him. I didn't even have him on my radar. So, I mean. Carl is amazing at grooming new point guards. He's amazing at bringing them up and making them better. And we're talking about getting Bobby Jackson on the roster on the coaching staff right now, possibly as a player development. Who would you rather see raising up a young point guard with Bobby Jackson and George Karl? I mean, if you're a young point guard, where else would you want to be? So I can't see it going any better.
I can honestly see Seth Curry kind of having that Bobby Jackson type of role. I listened to the Cowbell Kingdom podcast, and I think the great comparison that they put him to was an Eddie House. Having another Eddie House on this team, because and the great thing about Seth Curry, and the great thing about Seth Curry about his game is he does exactly what George Karl wants. He's going to attack the passing lanes. He's going to take risks on defense so he can get back on offense. And if he can come off the bench and play in a lineup with Willie Cauley-Stein, I think that just helps him and his development. So I'm excited to see what he does. But I think
the kid can shoot.
He can shoot. He's not Steph Curry though. Let's be honest.
Bro, he's a sniper. He's just young.
He's young.
I think the most important thing to come from Seth Curry is that, he's understanding that he's not, a starter. He's a role player. When he first came into the league, he thought he was a starter and he was going to, rival Steph and just be, that next great, Curry, starting point guard. But he's not that. But he's realized that, and he can realize that he can just come off the bench and contribute, and that's it. So.
Well, I hope that you're right for this year, but I hope that in the future maybe the kid grows up a little bit. Maybe the kid gets caught up, and maybe the kid grows up into being his big brother. Maybe he grows up into being the next great Curry. That'd be we can hope.
Yeah.
You can certainly bow to the East at the basketball gods and pray.
All right, Joe, I got one more question for you before I let you go here. You and I, we've been talking. You were actually able to go and walk through the arena the other day and see it all. And this is going to be our final season in Sacramento at the Sleep Train Arena. And, you saw Vlade working on an off day. I believe it was a Friday. So, how was it walking around there again and getting the feel? Does it just bring up more excitement that this is going to be our last season in Sleep Train? Are you excited? Are you just excited just because of this roster and then you were there? Is it just bringing you up more excitement and everything? And what did you see there that you were just you guys are going to be wanting to see more?
walking through the arena when nobody's there is always like an epic experience. You lay underneath the hoop and you take a picture of it straight up, and there's a handful of things that you get to do that obviously most people never get to do. Walk on the court, look around at stuff, just do whatever you want, really. Walk around and walk through the locker room, check all the names. Hell, see all the names from last year that aren't even here anymore. I'll be honest with you, though, I was really excited to be there, but I was way more excited when I toured the new arena, all the virtual experience. Oh man, it's mind blowing what they have in store for us next October, what they have in store for us when they have all the technological whiz bangs they got coming up. They got counters that heat your food, and they got, phone chargers in every seat. They got all sorts of stuff that just, it blows your mind. It blows your mind what these guys are willing to do, and they're only packing like 40 more people into the arena. It's only 540 is the attendance. It's not much bigger than Arco. It's the same thing. It's just beautiful. It's huge and pretty and amazing and like big glass sliding doors. I don't know. I'm sad to see Arco go. It's a lot of memories, a lot of stuff, but this new thing is going to make our city better, bringing in $7 billion in the first 30 years, and that's if they're bad, let alone if they're good and they start winning and they start having championships here, and we have NCAA tournaments here, and we have UFCs here. Man, this place is going to be amazing. They're bringing this city up right.
I just want that new arena to get a skylight first day. just blow off the roof with all Kings fans just packed in there, and just the ceiling falls down or just blows. One
of the things they're doing is they're actually building it in at the stadium itself. The seating level is on ground level, and the floor is actually underground. They're digging in where the players are going to be. So when we're yelling down at them. And my assumption, I'm no acoustics expert, but if you yell into a hole, it's going to echo. I think we can even be louder than we are at Arco, and that's crazy because we're already the loudest in the NBA.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. Well, I want to thank you, man, for coming on. I appreciate it. Like, you already know how happy I am to have you now on the Sac Kings Nation staff. Before I let you go, do you want to let everyone know what you're going to be working on, what they can be expecting from you from SacKingsNation.com, and, of course, just let them know about your experience on the staff so far since you've been on?
All right, well, hopefully this week, it might take me 6-7 days, but I'm going to be posting hopefully one every day or two. It's going to be the positions, all the West, what I think the rankings are going to be of the West point guards, the West shooting guards, all the way down the row. It's a little bit hard because the Kings, don't have a roster that we can say is definitive yet, and there's a couple other teams that have the same problem, but I'm going to give my best guess. I'm a pretty good guesser. We're going to figure it out. And I don't know, I've been having a ball. What's that?
I said, except for guessing that the Kings are 7.
Oh no, they're in the 7th seed, bro. I'm already planning going to the playoffs. Like, I already have my seats picked out. Like, I know what kind of popcorn I'm going to eat that day. Like,
ride that hype train all the way to the playoffs.
And actually, again, if you read my first article, you know what I think is going to happen. Golden State's taking the 1 seed. We're San Antonio's taking the 2. We're going to beat San Antonio in the first round and then lose in the second round.
Then you snapped it back to reality.
Hey, I'm telling you, I believe it. I believe it in my heart. What I think is reality is all it takes is a bunch of fans, 18,000, I think 540. Bear with my math there, but I think it's 18,540 of us. Got to scream every night. Got to let them know how pumped we are that they're finally not going to suck.
For sure, Joe. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you calling in, man. We're gonna start rounding out this show here. Where can people find you online just so they can see more of your content? Of course, on SacKingsNation.com. What's that Twitter handle?
Twitter handle. at SacKingsJMorgan.
There you go, guys. Go follow him. Thanks, Joe.
All right, have a good one. Talk to you guys later.
Later. All right, guys. That was our new writer, Joe Morgan.
That was intense.
That was fun. I have a bet now.
I'm holding you to that. I'm holding you to that. By the end of the season, if the Kings are a 7th seed, we're going to the Sacramento River, and you're going in.
We'll put that on video.
And I'm filming it.
You can put that on video.
At the end of the season, Sac Kings Nation fans, I want to let you let you know that there will be a video of Vince going in the Sacramento River
wearing a Monarchs jersey, and I will gladly wear that Monarchs jersey. All right.
Hey, they're coming back.
They are going to come back.
Yeah.
Joe Morgan's awesome. You guys go follow him on Twitter. Again, it's Sack Kings J Morgan. You know, he literally just talking to him right there, and you guys hearing him. I mean, he literally just the way he speaks just gets you kind of a little bit more pumped left and believing. You know what? Maybe the Kings can do it. Now, am I on that side with him? No, because he didn't do it to me. And yeah, he will be wearing that Jimmer Fredette jersey and going down in the Sacramento Pond.
The only Jimmer Fredette jersey in existence.
He even said it. Jimmer Fredette doesn't own a Jimmer Fredette jersey. All right, guys. Well, that is our show today. It's been a more of a fun episode than it was more of an informative episode. We didn't even get to talk about Vlade, you know, going after Peja and Bobby Jackson. So that would definitely be on next Sunday's episode. But we got Marley Silverbrand back.
I think the key word that came out of this episode was the Vladfather.
Yeah.
Hashtag Vladfather.
Hashtag Vlad. Although he stole that from Aaron Brewski and probably somewhere else online. So I've seen it before. It wasn't the first time.
Let's get that trending.
Get that trending.
Yeah.
Just read the article. that's what you post. Just read his articles. All right, guys. All right, Marley. Where can people find you online?
You can find me pretty much everywhere. Like I'm on Twitter at msilverbrand. I'm on. I'm not gonna tell my Facebook. I'm on YouTube, Silverdome Productions. I am working on probably a new show on my new YouTube channel, but other than that, I'm not gonna bring that out. But yeah, at msilverbrand on Twitter.
For sure, guys. And you guys can always follow me on Twitter at VMCenter. Be sure to go to SacKingsNation.com for all of your Sacramento Kings news. Of course, if you guys want more writing stuff, you guys can go on to RoyalPain.com. I'm writing for them as well. Should be having something up probably later today, which is pretty cool. So it'll be published on Monday. And then, of course, everything again on SacKingsNation.com. BrickHouseIndustries.com. I want to thank them for sponsoring the show. Go to BrickHouseIndustries.com. Use the promo code KINGSCORE. Get a discount on us. Get your Sack Kings Nation t-shirts right now. They're on sale for $18. And until next time, Sacramento Kings fans, bye-bye.